Imagine this. A struggling single dad walks into a coffee shop, and in one unexpected moment, his entire world flips upside down, thanks to a billionaire's daughter with a shocking proposal. Sometimes life throws you into moments so strange and so unbelievable that you question if you're awake or trapped in some sort of dream. For Ethan Miles, a single dad juggling 2 part-time jobs and raising a 7-year-old daughter, that moment came on a rainy Wednesday morning, inside a coffee shop that smelled like burned espresso and tired hope. He had no idea that the next few minutes would flip his life upside down, all because of a woman he'd never met. And for Olivia Hart, the daughter of a billionaire CEO, a woman who looked like she owned half the world, but felt completely alone in it, kindness wasn't something she expected to find in a stranger. Definitely not in a man wearing thrift store jeans, a worn-out jacket, and a look in his eyes that said life had hit him far too hard. Yet, fate had plans, and both of them were about to collide in a way either could have predicted. But hold on, what if this chance encounter wasn't just random, but the start of a life-changing deal that could save them both? Keep watching to find out how one simple question sparked it all. Before we dive in, if you enjoy heartfelt stories and true-to-life lessons that remind us of the goodness in people, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. It helps our channel, Truth Lines USA, keep bringing you inspiring stories every week. Now let's begin. Ethan Miles had exactly $4.17 left on his debit card that morning. He knew the number because he had checked it 3 times. His daughter, Lily, was sitting at a school desk across town, pretending everything was normal, pretending she didn't know that her dad had been served an eviction notice the night before, pretending they weren't one missed paycheck away from losing everything they had rebuilt together. Ethan had promised her pancakes after school, no matter what, because that's what he did. He kept his promises, even when the world made it nearly impossible. That he stepped into the coffee shop, hoping the manager might let him pick up an extra shift. Instead, he found a line that reached halfway to the door, and a young woman crying quietly near the register. Not dramatic sobs, not messy noisy tears, just the kind of quiet, controlled crying that comes from someone who's used to hiding pain. Ethan wasn't the type to step into someone's business. But something about her, maybe the loneliness in her eyes, made him pause. She was dressed in a crisp white coat that looked more expensive than his monthly rent. A sleek laptop sat open in front of her, displaying what looked like a legal contract. Her phone buzzed nonstop, flashing messages he couldn't read, but could tell were urgent. Every few seconds she wiped her cheek and whispered, "This can't be happening." Ethan didn't know why he spoke, but he heard himself ask, "Are you all right?" The woman startled, then shook her head with a soft, embarrassed laugh. "I'm sorry. It's just a really bad day." He nodded. "I know those." She looked at him then, really looked at him, and something shifted. Not pity, not judgment, just recognition, like 2 people who both understood what it felt like to be overwhelmed by life. "My name is Olivia," she whispered. "Olivia Hart." The last name meant nothing to Ethan at first, but in the rest of the city, the Hart family name was practically stamped on every billboard, newspaper headline, and skyscraper. Olivia Hart, the only daughter of Jameson Hart, tech mogul and CEO of Hart Global Solutions, a billionaire, a powerhouse, a man known for being both brilliant and ruthlessly cold. But Ethan didn't know any of that. He just saw a woman who looked desperately sad. "I'm Ethan," he said. "If talking helps, I'm here. I'm not in a rush." The truth was, he had nowhere to rush to. Olivia hesitated, then exhaled shakily. "My father is forcing me into an arranged marriage," she said. "A business deal, a merger disguised as a relationship." She blinked hard. "I have 30 days to choose someone acceptable, or he picks for me." Ethan's eyebrows rose. He nearly laughed at how ridiculous it sounded, but her trembling hands told him it was real. "Well," he said softly. "And you don't want to?" "I want my own life," she whispered. "I want freedom, kindness, love, not a merger." She swallowed. "But I'm trapped." They sat in silence, the noise of the coffee shop swirling around them. Then, out of nowhere, Olivia looked him dead in the eyes. What if? She paused, as if even she couldn't believe the thought forming in her mind. What if I hired you? Ethan blinked. Hired me for what? A marriage, she whispered. A fake one, just for a year. I'd pay you $50,000 up front. You get stability for your daughter. I get freedom. And at the end, we walk away. Ethan stared at her, stunned. This had to be a joke, a prank show, something. But Olivia wasn't smiling. Her eyes weren't desperate, they were hopeful. Why me? He asked quietly. Because you're kind, she said. You saw a stranger crying and cared. Everyone in my world sees weakness and smiles. You didn't. Ethan shook his head, overwhelmed. You don't even know me. I know enough, she said. The next hours were a blur. They talked. They asked questions. They laid out rules, boundaries, expectations. Olivia wasn't asking for romance or affection. She was asking for a shield, someone her father couldn't manipulate or threaten. And Ethan, he thought of Lily. He thought of the eviction notice taped to their door. He thought of the nights she cried quietly because she missed her mom, who had passed when Lily was 4. $50,000, a home, food, safety, a chance to breathe again. By the time their coffee grew cold, they had a contract drafted by Olivia's lawyer. Ethan signed it with shaking hands. A year-long marriage, a partnership built on mutual benefit, not love, at least, not at first. The weeks that followed changed both their lives in ways neither could have imagined. Olivia stepped into Ethan's world with a softness that surprised him. She helped Lily with homework. She cooked badly, but with enthusiasm. She donated anonymously to the local food bank after hearing how they had supported Ethan years ago. And Ethan entered Olivia's world, one filled with luxury he didn't understand, and expectations he couldn't meet. But Olivia never mocked him. She defended him fiercely when others looked down on him. Their fake marriage became a friendship, and their friendship became something deeper, but neither dared name it. Not when their entire relationship was built on a contract, not when the truth could break them. Trouble came when Olivia's father invited them to a gala. Ethan showed up in a borrowed suit, holding Olivia's hand like it was the only thing grounding him. Her father, Jameson Hart, took one look at Ethan and smirked. This is your choice, he said. A man with nothing to offer. Ethan felt shame burn through him. He wanted to walk away, but Olivia squeezed his hand harder. He offers kindness, she said. Something money can't buy. Her father scoffed. Love won't run a company. I don't want your company, she whispered. I want my life. Jameson stepped closer. You think this marriage is real? You think I don't know? You're lying to me. Olivia froze. Ethan's heart dropped. The contract, the arrangement, their secret, it was all about to explode. But then, something unexpected happened. Lily, who had been standing behind them, stepped forward and looked Jameson in the eyes with the fearless honesty only a child could have. Ethan didn't marry Olivia for money, she said. He married her because she was sad, and she needed someone. The room fell silent. Jameson looked at Lily, then at Ethan, then at his own daughter. And for the first time, something in his expression softened, not much, but enough. Is that true? He asked Olivia. She took a deep breath. I hired him, but he stayed because he cares. And I care too, more than I expected. Jameson stared at them for a long, tense moment. Then he sighed, looking suddenly older. You remind me of your mother, he muttered. Always believing kindness can fix the world. Olivia's eyes watered. Maybe it can. Jameson didn't bless their marriage. He didn't hug them or congratulate them, but he stepped aside, that he let them go. And for Olivia, that was enough. The year passed in what felt like moments. When the contract expired, Ethan handed Olivia the paper. You're free, he whispered. But Olivia tore it in half. I don't want freedom, she said. I want you. I want us, for real this time. Ethan pulled her close, overwhelmed with gratitude, relief, and something he had fought for months. Love, real love, not the kind in fairy tales. The kind built on kindness, on showing up, on healing wounds together. Lily ran into their arms, laughing, and for the first time in years, Ethan felt whole. Kindness didn't just save Ethan. Didn't just free Olivia. It connected two broken worlds and built something beautiful in the space between them. And it reminded everyone watching their story, everyone who doubted, everyone who feared, everyone who struggled, that kindness isn't weakness. It's strength. It's power. It's the quiet force that can change a life, or two, or three. So, as you go about your day, remember this. You never know whose life you might change with one small act of kindness. Just one moment of care, one honest smile, one brave word. And if this story touched your heart, share it, like it, and tell us your thoughts below. Because here at Truth Lines USA, we believe kindness is the greatest story we can ever tell.